Every now and then, I do a vlog like this. I don't know the title from it, so whatever title you read is going to be kind of pulling from left field. But I get the privilege of helping a lot of people. Most of you know there's an element of faith to a lot of what I say, but I know that a lot of you don't subscribe to it, and I get it, I understand. But I want to tell you that when infidelity hits or addiction hits, your life is suspended seemingly in chaos. And it is launched into this panic. Life is not the way it was. Like everything becomes uncertain. Everything becomes heightened. It's like if you have a car issue, well, when you're going through infidelity or the exposure of addiction or what have you, man, that car issue, everything gets blown up and you are constantly on. And I know that being on the other side of these videos, you can kind of find yourself gasping for air, gasping for hope, gasping for insight. And that's why I get some wonderful email, I get some wonderful comments, and I appreciate every one of them. But I want to tell you today, no buts, I just want to tell you today to not reevaluate the rest of your life by what you're facing right now. Because, quite honestly, we don't know what's going to happen in 6 months, 6 years, 16 years. Every good story, every good movie has a bad chapter, has a bad scene, has a terrible point of conflict. And that's where you're probably at right now at some level, is an incredible point of conflict. Some of you are years down the road and you've learned a lot of things and you've come to a much better place, but you are still going to deal with conflict, whether it be a reminder or a trigger, or whether it be in life, or whether it be a financial crisis. And I want to give you some hope today. I'm not trying to get too ethereal. I'm not trying to get too obtuse. I'm really trying to help you where you're at today, whether you've been unfaithful or whether you've been betrayed. The reality is you probably need some kind of hope today. But you cannot reevaluate the rest of your life based upon how one day, 1 week, or 1 month has gone, or how your recovery is going, because you just don't know. So years ago, at the beginning of my rise to fame, if you will, things were starting to really take off, and I met this guy, and I sat down with him, and I was raising finances for our ministry. And it's a part of what almost every pastor has to do at some level. And I met with him, and he said, man, you're really good, I see a lot, God's doing a lot, just affirmed me. Said, I want you to come and speak, and you can do some fundraising, and we'll see how it goes. I said, wonderful. I went and spoke. It really was phenomenal. He gave me a chance in front of 500 people to just let it fly, and I did, and it was wonderful. Afterwards, you could tell there was just a connection. He really affirmed me. He was much older than I was. But he really said, man, I really want to help you and take care of you. And so we got to be really good friends, and he one day said, listen, I see greatness on your life, but I want to tell you a story. There was a guy just like you. I knew him. We were buddies. He started to rise. He was traveling, speaking, and then he lost it all. Had an affair and blew it. I said, oh, man, okay. And he said, so don't be like that guy. I said, okay. So I kind of do my thing. Years down the road, he takes me with him to this huge convention. I won't tell you the name of the convention, but this enormous convention. And I sit down with the president of this enormous convention. And this friend of mine who's kind of mentoring me says, hey, this guy is just like so-and-so. He can preach the paint off the wall. You should hear him speak. He should speak at this convention one day. And the president of the convention says, wow, just make sure you don't turn out like so-and-so. Okay, now, I leave that dinner. It's probably about 8 years later. My life has now been turned upside down overnight. A day or two goes by, I don't have anybody. All my friends have left except one, and he's furious at me and barely talks to me. And I remember this guy's name, and I say, you know what? I'm going to try and find this guy. I don't know what his life is like. He's probably a mess. He's probably, some beaten down mess. But I need a friend and at least someone who can tell me what to expect. So I hunt this guy down, expecting to just kind of have it be a fiasco. He responds, and I say, look, we're moving from California to Texas, but I would love to come meet you. He says, come see me in Oklahoma. So I drive to Oklahoma by myself on the way to meet Samantha in Texas. I get there, I sit down with him, and I expect him to just be this ragtag, well, I kind of made it, I'm a mess, but hey, here's how you kind of get through it. No, I sit down with this guy. He is at the top of his game. He looks across from me and he says, yes, I had an affair. My church was several thousand. I lost this, I lost that. I am still married to my wife. My kids are doing wonderful. My life has never been as meaningful and as profound as it is right now. You're going to get through this. And I sat there and cried at this restaurant because he's the first person that said, you're going to get through this. You're going to make it. Don't reevaluate your life, your calling, your destiny, the totality of your life on earth by how things are going right now. And it absolutely shook me. I wept like a little kid. The waitress walked up and she just kind of sat down and she just kind of sat our food down and walked away because I was sniveling snot. I was wiping tears off my face because someone had finally told me, listen, your life is not over. Everyone had said to me, oh, it'll never be the same. Your life is over. Oh my gosh, this and that. You'll never be a pastor again, and you'll never do anything successful again, and you'll never be important again. All these hurtful, incredible, just dark things. And right where you're at today, I want to tell you, you just don't know the end yet. I'm sorry if you're having to divorce. I deeply regret that you have had to go through that or are going through that. But your life is not over just because you divorce. If you believe in God, He's not done with you if you divorce. God hates divorce. He doesn't hate divorcees. If you're not subscribing to faith, just because you have to go through this major transition does not mean your life does not have the opportunity to impact thousands. It doesn't mean that you still can't be a wonderful mother or a wonderful father, even though right now is dark. I'll tell you, I never thought I would stand up and get a chance to share my story with thousands of you on different continents all over the world. That's not a humble brag. That's just some of you, I know that you're out there because you've reached out to me. But I want to tell you, your life is not over. This is a dark chapter. This is a dark moment. But do not reevaluate the rest of your life based upon right now. There's too much hope for you. There's too much potential for your life, despite the fact that you are going through incredible pain. Don't give up. Be brave today. Refuse to become bitter. Refuse to keep enabling. Refuse to give up. There's too much riding on it.